What's going on, gang? How are you? How's everybody? Hope your week was amazing. Young Kobe from the free throw. White boys can't even jump in movies. Episode 53. We out here. The week was crazy, but what is life if not an adventure? What is life if not an adventure? Is the world even worth living in if it ain't spicy? What would you do in a milk toast cookie cutter world where everything went perfectly fine all the time? Would you really enjoy that? I don't really think most people would enjoy that. I think they want problems, they just want other people's problems. Like broke people want rich people's problems. Having to tell people no, having to duck and dodge, because you're such a celebrity, you're so famous, you're so known in so particular circles that you gotta be whisked away, and you could take Ubers across the state to random places at a given moment's notice. I think poor people want rich people problems. Low key, I think sometimes rich people want poor people problems, or not even just poor, but just middle class person problems, where they could just if a rich person could just have all their bills and stuff taken care of, and go back to being an anonymous regular individual that didn't have a bunch of shareholders, didn't have a bunch of rival companies trying to take them out, didn't have all of these things on their shoulders, many of them would say, yeah, give it to me. They wouldn't want to live in the hood. Hell no. But just give them a house, give them an apartment in the city, and just an 80, 90K gig. They'll be good with life. I think sometimes we don't realize how little it takes to actually just be happy and comfortable. I think sometimes we have such grandiose goals, such big schemes, and ain't nothing wrong. Dream big, shoot your fucking shot, go to the moon. You know what I mean? What Pop said on his cover, on the cover of the official Wu album, what shoot for the moon, uh, aim for the stars, shoot for the aim for the stars, shoot for the moon, aim for the stars, something like that. Like you gotta shoot your shot, and you gotta shoot it high. You better shoot it super high. You know what I'm saying? But when you're not shooting your shot super high, you're gonna land in the regular areas. So shoot super high, so wherever you land, you done moved the needle. You done made your trajectory. You done made your mark. So yes, even in shooting super high, if you don't make it to that upper echelon of what you're trying to do, you will still have made it somewhere. Steve Harvey talks about that all the time. Just get on your journey and keep going. You may not, where you end up may not be where you expected to end up, but you will have traveled somewhere. You will have switched your journey. You will have switched the game up. You will have switched the criteria. You will have evolved. You will have transitioned. You will have traveled. You know what I'm saying? So aim super high, but don't be so ambitious that you don't appreciate the things that you are accomplishing. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not talking about the people who, if you mad months behind on your rent, those real superficial issues can really drain your thoughts and take away your energy and make you feel like, damn, I haven't really accomplished shit. Use it as a wake-up call. Use it as an alarm to say, damn, this is a bad situation. I don't like how this feels. I don't want to be in this situation again. I have people who rely on me. I don't want to put them in this situation again. What do I need to do? What do I need to do? Is this going to be a moment to break me and completely derail everything? Or is this going to be the moment I get it together? You'd be surprised how many people in that moment can get it together. When everything is falling from up under them, it's sink or swim. Some people really get the swimming. Those moments, being back into a corner having your safety nets removed, can really inspire the greatness in people. Can make people push toward outcomes and push with output they never thought they had, and push toward outcomes they never could have imagined previously. So don't let nobody tell you you can't get to it. Don't let nobody tell you you ain't worthy of it. You know what I'm saying? Don't let no one tell you that. Don't let anyone tell you that. Dope film I'm watching. Illang, the Wolf Brigade, Illang. It's a Netflix original, but it's also distributed and produced by Warner Brothers. So it's a dope collabo between Netflix and Warner Brothers. It's about, futuristic dystopian type of vibes. You got this super police troop called the Wolf Brigade, who hide their faces behind these masks, and they, almost these like breathing masks, these oxygen masks, and they got like these crazy red eyes lighting up when they faces in the mask. Crazy military, crazy artillery, insane weaponry, insane armor. And they're like the hit squad. They go around often those who the government has targeted to be off. And so the long and short of it is, in the movie, North Korea and South Korea, understanding that they're both doing really bad, decide that, we want to get back together and get, line up and, put our resources together for the sake of our people. But America and a couple of the other Western powers, Europe, etc., like, nah, we can't have this. And they start sowing the seeds and start sowing mistrust between South Korea and North Korea all over again, start them getting into wars all over again. And so as they're trying to negotiate peace, but everything is falling apart, the people are starting to get a little antsy, and unrest starting to break out. And of course, America and, some of the Western powers are really happy with this. France, Italy, Germany, etc. And so, they've got the chaos and the disunity, and I can't even trust my own brother thing going on, which a lot of people would argue these Western powers need. They need the countries that they want to go into, the countries that got the resources they want, the countries that have the technology they want, the countries that have the people, the talented individuals that they would like to bring over and have work in their countries. They need these countries to be going crazy in unrest, at odds. They need the economies to be crippling, so they could be like, hey, dope scientists, you don't deserve that. You're an award-winning scientist. Come over here and work with us, man. We'll take care of you. Oh, hey, farmers. You farmers are amazing. Y'all came up with this new farming technology. Sell that to us, man. Come do that here in America. We'll teach you how to cultivate the land here, give you some land grants. It's called headhunting. Companies do it all the time. Not just company to company. Countries do that. Countries have cabinets full of people that work literally in every single area, from defense to finance to business to law, and they headhunt. They'll be like, hey, don't work for this country, come work for this country instead. Happens all the time. And if I want the best and most brightest minds from your country, if I want all the resources from your country, the best military minds, the best science minds, the best strategists, the best finance minds, if I want the minerals in your country, if your country is a country with minerals, if I want the data from your country, because data is becoming a huge resource. And if you have other countries' data, if you have their consumer bases data, you can alter and control people based on your social science and your advertising, your marketing, your promotion, your branding, your propaganda. All of those things can really be particularly targeted if you know exactly what people want, what their ambitions are, what their desires are, what their goals are, what their fears are. You can really cater your message to make them respond specifically, because you can tweak it around all those things to different audiences. So if I want all of these things, data, resources, mineral wealth, human capital, human resources, the brightest minds, to all come to my country, I got to make your country be, look, disgusting, be trash, be in chaos, be out of order, to make everyone who's elite in your country see no option but to leave. See no option but to leave. Because if everyone who's elite in your country would be able to help the country succeed and flourish if only things were a little more stable, I got to keep it super spicy so they don't see a possibility of making things shake out. So you got all that going on in the film, and you got the two military factions between the North and South Koreans battling and warring now, in addition to dealing with this external war and all these powers that be from the Western world trying to stick their nose in your business. All these European and American companies and European and American military sticking their nose in the business, and then we got infighting going on. So the film is really dope. Highly recommend it. It deals with some political stuff, some technology stuff, advances in technology, advances in the politics, where the people's minds is just gonna be in a little while. It's really, really dope. I give it 8 out of 10 matches so far. Haven't finished it just yet. Once I do finish the film, I'll give it another full, thorough review. But it's really, really good. Check it out. It's on Netflix right now. Illang, the Wolf Brigade, ILLANG. It's your boy Phantm. This is his ghetto point of view, y'all, where we give you the news, views, previews, and reviews with just a twist of his ghetto point of view. It's been a crazy week, gang. It's been a crazy week. You got this was the first week, you would say, of the officially of the Biden administration. How do you say this without sounding crazy, right? No news is good news. Nothing has burned down or fallen apart just yet. But it's still early. I saw that Biden in his first 48 hours ran through at least 12 very key executive orders. He rejoined the Paris Climate Accord. He's reconnecting some of the business ties that the Americans have with the Chinese, which is always very interesting to me when you've got constantly news about them on having spies here, having spies in our police departments, having spies in our political offices, having spies in our military, having spies in our schools, having spies in every walk of life, from medicine to science to education to, agriculture. I mean, the list goes on and on, where China and the Chinese are infiltrating, doing reconnaissance, or, taking back information and pretty much reverse engineering or making their own versions of a lot of the key noteworthy pieces of technology or advances in technology that have come out of the Americas. And so, that's business. Companies are going to do that. Countries are going to do that, because at the end of the day, these countries are ran like companies. And for one country to succeed, or for a certain group of countries to succeed, the other countries have to be not doing as well. I mean, that's just the give and take, the ebb and flow. Now, there is a balance to that where you can have the entire globe sort of doing decent without it having to be such a disparity. You don't have to have such a super, super rich class and a very poor class. You can have a more balanced living going on with, of course, some people in the head and some people behind, but not as big of a gap of that. But then you get into people saying, "Oh, you're trying to be a commie and this and that," and absolutely not. Like I said in one of my songs, "Shaking Up the System," all power to the people. And I don't know communist shit. So I'm just saying, let's be equals. Tired of these politicians peddling their politics when all we really need to do is sit and think with common sense. We would see that we all have a common vent, mad about the same issue on every continent, held down by the same oppressors every land. They take out all the power cards and divvy up the hands. They divvy up the power, they divvy up the wealth, and then they tell you that you're free and could go fend for self with no pot to piss in. So trust I'll take yours. Cause change don't come, then the pain goes numb. We'll be kicking in doors. Revolution won't be televised. Nah, it'll be on YouTube. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't tell me that I'm free to be able to run businesses, teach my children the way I want, set up things in my communities the way I want. But if it doesn't align up with how other people feel, if I'm not making the type of money, if I don't have the type of military power, if I don't have the type of medical power, if I don't have the type of financial and material resources, the type of legal resources, the legal teams necessary to keep what we set up free and protected, people can come in and tear it down. And sometimes we can put this conversation in my community, oh, they're doing that to us because we're black. Oh, they just hating because we black. They don't want us to get nowhere because we black. And I feel there's a lot of truth to that. But what truly bugs me is if we really feel that there's a truth to that. Well, what do most, I'm not going to say most, what do 70% of the people who feel that they are subjected and they can't do business and they can't get farther in life, they can't get nowhere or get ahead or do nothing, what do 70%, 70 to 75% of the people who feel that way do as a reaction? Not a mother freaking thing. Let that marinate for a sec while I take a sip of this coffee. People do nothing about it. People do nothing about it. They just talking. Oh, yeah, we're being systemically persecuted. We're being victimized. We're being treated lesser than because of our skin color. And they'll run down this list, man. And I love history. I'm a student of history. I can tell you things about how we were treated in this country. I can tell you things about how other groups were treated in this country that don't get the same level of notoriety. Like, did you know that there was lynchings in New Orleans of Italians when the Italians first were migrating to this country? Some Italians were lynched because there was an uprising in a predominantly Italian slum type of hood. And they live in pretty much a projects in New Orleans, Louisiana type of outskirt areas. And you got to be in an Italian community, a very low income Italian community, poor Italian community, the hood. And so you got Italians having beefs with the police, and these Italian individuals get caught up in a uprising against the police, and a few individuals get arrested and eventually lynched for allegedly offing the police sergeant of the particular district. Turns out they didn't do it. Italy was in an uproar. The Italian government was ready to declare war on the United States. Riots are going on in the streets of New Orleans. To pacify the situation, $25,000 is paid to each of the families that have been wronged. I think it was about 7 or 8 families of individuals who'd been hung, which would have equated to, in today's numbers, a couple million apiece, right? So what you saying is, other groups have been persecuted in this country, and the way they got there just due was not being afraid to die for it. What you mean, fam? We in these streets. We got guns. We ready to shoot. You know what I'm saying? You know who the shooter in the summertime? Yeah, but who you shooting at? You talking about you know who the shooter in the summertime? Yeah, the police. The police is the shooter in the summertime, in the wintertime, in the springtime, and in the fall time. Don't tell me about that. You know who the shooter in the summertime bullshit. Don't tell me about that. Don't fill my head with that. Stop filling your head with that. Because if you was really about that life, you the shooter in the summertime. Then where did you shoot somebody when Ahmaud Arbery got hit? What about when Philando Castile got hit? Shooter in the summertime. When Mike Brown got hit, hands up under his armpits. Gentleman that just got hit, his name escapes me, 7 times in his back, 7 to 8 times. Conflicting reports in his back, in front of his kids, saying he was going to the car to get a knife. Did you shoot? Did you and the team pop out? Let that thing go at the precinct? And again, and I am not condoning violence against officers. There are tons of great officers out here, and a lot of them just want to go home to their families at the end of the day. I am asking a question. And many officers themselves will ask these questions when they are doing conversations with gang individuals about the guns. Why will you only kill your own? Why will you only shoot your own? Why will you only destroy oneself? Oh, you know what we doing out here? Got them big guns. They go bump in the night. All that. Fuck the nighttime. If I see them, I'm taking them out at 3 o'clock in the daytime. Kids, grandma, all that. It could be Sunday. I see them coming out of church. I'm hitting up the pastor. But when Sandra Bland didn't make it home from that jail cell, was you there? When Kanika Jenkins didn't make it home from that party, did you and your team put together the search party and go after those dudes and make sure there was some justice? Breonna Taylor, did you guys... I mean, at this point, it is clear no one will be charged. And one officer was only charged with wanton endangerment for hitting into another apartment. Oh, I set the streets on fire. I make it come alive at night. You might as well call me 4th of July. I'm about them fireworks. Brat, 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 brat. What reality do we live in? What reality do we live in? They call me Mr. Snipe Snipers. I send your moms to a funeral, boy. Yeah, you'll send my mother to a funeral. Oh, I bet you would. With a smile on your face, like I just took out another man who looked just like me, another girl who looked just like me, another child who looks just like me and whose future could have been greater than mine, showing people that people from my community can do greater things. But no. I'm the shooter in the summertime, but only when they look or she look or they act like I do. Damn, Phantm, why you had to get all serious? What you saying all that to say? The priorities is way off. The priorities is way out of whack. If I even have to verbalize this, the priorities is way out of whack. Damn, Phantm, you know I understand your point, man, but you know ain't so much we could do about that. That's the police. What we supposed to do? We supposed to get arrested. We supposed to go to jail. We supposed to. Why do all those things come into play when it comes to the system, but none of those things come into play when it comes to the value of the lives of the people in your community? So if other people outside of your community don't value the life, then it is not valuable. Are we saying that other people outside of our community have to give things value before we'll value them? I mean, is that what goes on in our communities? When they're kicking us out of the community saying, damn, yeah, this is good real estate. Oh, this is only 20 minutes away from a major shopping area. Oh, this is only 30 minutes away from the main business or financial district of this town. Oh, this is only 20 minutes away from the airports, or 15 minutes away from the schools. This is a great area. Oh, we got cheap real estate. Oh, we got storefront properties for rent. Oh, we got houses that a little bit of a fixer-upper, but I could get this whole house for how much? And there's business loans available? We got to just come up with how much? But we don't do none of that. The majority, I'm not going to say we all, because there's tons of examples of people not giving a damn about what the media say or what the stereotypes are supposed to be, and they buying land and they buying homes and they starting businesses, starting storefronts, starting restaurants, starting online businesses, starting different service providing companies, coding, web designing, UXing, UIing, doing all of this stuff that we're not supposed to do. But unfortunately, at least 50% of us, if not 60 to 70% of us, don't see the value in these things. Then we have a talented tenth of us who's exceedingly wealthy within the system. And some people would argue are commissioned or literally get paid to keep us asleep in the system, to keep the majority of people, black, white, blue, green, yellow, orange, purple, lavender, to keep people asleep in the system, not trying to get no bags, not trying to do no business, not trying to change their lives around. And you'll have the people who will be asleep forever behind that. Then you'll have the ones that'll wake up and will get ostracized, kicked out of their own community, excommunicated. Mofos will turn their back on you, not talk to you, not bop with you, act like they wasn't your mans, act like y'all ain't have Sunday dinners together, didn't sit in the pew at church together, didn't grow up playing ball together, didn't have paper fights in the back of class together, didn't take baths together when y'all was little. Mofos will act like they don't know you and put 3 bullets in you to look good on Instagram. Mofos will sleep with your wife. Mofos will sleep with your husband. People will sleep with your baby mama, your baby daddy. People will break your house apart. People will rob you, steal from you, steal your ideas, steal your intellectual properties, steal your physical property. Take your assets, take your liabilities. They'll jack your car, they'll jack your bike, take your motorcycle. Shout to my girl, Jess Blaze. It's crazy what people will do to people who look like them, struggling and trying to come up just like them. Because they the shooters in the summertimes, and they the hitters, and they gorillas, and they hard as fuck. Part of my French today, gang, but when I get into this mode, man, they hard, they gruesome, they gritty, they tough, they bout that action. But when they hear that whoop whoop, they ducking, they dodging, they making moves and grooves. They saying it in the rap songs, y'all. What you mean? You sound crazy. They saying it in the rap songs. When I see them lights, I duck and dodge. When them sirens come, I'm moving. Getting low when I see police lights. Saying it in the songs, making it cool to be scared of them. While 3 seconds later in the same damn song talking about they gonna put somebody in a fucking casket. And we let people get away with this, y'all. We let people get away with this. We don't sit there and be like, damn, don't that sound like those coon characters from Jim Crow times, them Jim Crow cartoons, where you used to have the bully coon, where the bully coon would be real tough. If you guys don't know who the bully coon is, look up Jim Crow cartoons and Jim Crow caricatures. There's a lot of different cartoon characters that were made during that time that were put in the cartoons to influence people's behavior. Because at the end of the day, guys, it's called programming. Television programming, radio programming, satellite programming, Sirius XM programming, cable TV programming, Hulu programming, Pluto programming, Netflix programming, Hot 97 programming, Power 105.1 programming, Power 99, Hot 96 programming, Bounce TV programming, BET programming, ESPN programming, Lifetime programming, OWN programming. I don't think I need to keep going. I think I've been this is pretty straightforward at this point. So they programming us to be afraid of certain people, but to be ready to kill other people. Not even think about it. Not even give it no thought. Have no love for people who have the same struggles as me. But let people who don't share my struggles, don't share my stories, don't share my pain, don't share my light, don't share my hunger, have free reign. Let's think about that. I'm going to take a quick break. We'll be right back, gang. It's your boy, Phantm Fuego. Let's go. Yeah, we back at it like we never left. And once again, I know I say it a lot, but I just always have to let you guys know, I'm forever grateful, and I have so much gratitude for you guys taking the time out to listen, rock, and vibe. Please make sure to hit the notification bells so you're alerted every time we drop a new episode. 2 days a week, we get into it like it's nothing to it. If you haven't done so already, please check out Wednesday's episode. Dropped early Thursday morning-ish. Had a little bit of a delay with my outputting signals, uploading stuff to the clouds. But that definitely was out. It was a really dope episode. Got to cover a lot of stuff. So please check out last Thursday's episode, Thursday-ish's episode. And but if you make sure you have your notifications on, guys, anytime those new episodes drop, you'll get the bing, bing, boom. You can listen to it while you at the gym, while you at the office, while you on your way to work, on your way to the supermarket, while you beating people up at Costco's for that last pack of wipes or last pack of Clorox wipes. You can have his ghetto point of view going, and it can help you get through your day a little bit better. And please, guys, please continue to send those questions, comments, critiques, criticisms, show inquiries, business questions, business inquiries. Continue to send all that to his ghetto point of view at gmail.com. That is his ghetto point of view at gmail.com. HISGHETTOPOINT, his ghetto point of view at gmail.com. Other than that, man, how the hell are you guys doing? It's been a crazy, crazy week. A lot of division, a lot of, I seen a lot of people attacking that whole QAnon community. And while I will say that, I'm not going to sit here in front like, I didn't expect any additional fireworks or, a bigger show. I was skeptical either way. I was cautiously optimistic. I was hoping that everything would go through smoothly and there would be no big hubbubs. But at the same time, I was making sure if there was a big hubbub, I wasn't somewhere where the hubbubs could get too hubbubbly. You know what I'm saying? I was keeping it low. I'm staying out the way, you know what I mean? Going to studios and things that's off the scene a little bit, behaving in a bit of an off-kilter fashion. That's what we do, man. That's what we do. That all being said, it was a great night, man. It was really a great night. Last night, had a good time. Kept it low key. But I enjoy myself everywhere I go. I enjoy myself no matter what I'm doing. So, it's a good vibe always. My presence is the present, as in the words of a young ASAP. You know what I'm saying? Just to kick it is a blessing. And I feel that same way about the people around me. I try to keep people around me who their presence is a present. So we don't have to be doing anything miraculous or grand. Us just vibing together is the vibe. Us just being around is the grand event. And as long as we always have that in mind, because, we're just brilliant, talented, creative, dope individuals. So we've got something pretty spicy and groundbreaking and edgy to, bring to the table. So it's always a good time. We always plotting to take over the world. So, never a dull moment with that. Real talk. But please keep me abreast of how you guys got to it, how you guys enjoyed your weekend, what you're working on, what you'd like to present to the community. His ghetto point of view at gmail.com. And as always, guys, we ask that you please donate. PayPal.me /Phantm Fuego. PayPal.me /Phantm Fuego. Or you can also hit me up on Venmo at Phantm Fuego 42. That's PHANTM PHUEGO 42. Phantm Fuego 42. Both are spelled with the PH at the front. And I thank you so much for all the support, the generosity, the donations that have been rolling in. You guys are so wonderful, and it's much appreciated, and it really goes to helping us keep the show moving and grooving. You have no idea. I got some amazing guests coming up in the next few weeks. Really excited about where the show's going up. I've been able to link with a couple guests, but timing is everything, so I wanted to make sure that I was adding those to the correct episodes, and everything has its proper place, everything has its proper time, and I want to make sure that when you get it, boom, it's a punch, with like that tough acting to acting. Anybody ever see that old commercial with John Madden in it? Boom, tough acting to acting. Yo, what is wrong with this? Boom, tough acting to acting. No, y'all gonna act like y'all ain't see the commercial. Some of y'all know y'all old as hell. When I was little, that commercial was on the TV all the time. Boom, tough acting to acting. Anyway, y'all go ahead. But very dope article. And the crazy. Very dope article, gang. I'm so sorry. In Reuters, that Mexican doctor, unfortunately, was it's not a dope article, but an interesting article, I should say. You'd be like, yo, damn, Phantm, you a morbid, sick mofo. A Mexican doctor hospitalized, unfortunately, after receiving the COVID-19 vaccine. Mexican authorities said they are studying the case of a 32-year-old female doctor who was hospitalized after receiving the Pfizer-BioNTech COVID-19 vaccine. The doctor, whose name has not been released, was admitted to the intensive care unit of a public hospital in the northern state of Nuevo León after she experienced seizures, difficulty breathing, and a skin rash. Excuse me? Seizures? 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 The initial diagnosis is encephalomyelitis. The health ministry said in a statement released Friday night, encephalomyelitis is an inflammation of the brain and spinal cord. So you telling me I went to the doctor to get a shot for a virus, which has a 98% survival rate if I'm a healthy person without any comorbidities, already making me very sick, and you telling me that now I have an inflammation of my brain and spinal cord? Which one of those is probably more problematic for myself, my family, and my community as a whole? Because I'm a doctor who now can no longer do my job. So which of those two made me more of a problem to my community, to my family, to myself? Which one of those was more detrimental to my health, to the health of my community, my family, and myself? Which one of those now makes me more of a burden to my community and my family? My nation, who, if I can't get over this thing, will now have to put me on some type of disability, Social Security income, public assistance dole. I went from being a hardworking provider to the community, a high-earning person providing for my family, to now somebody who's having seizures with brain and spinal inflammation. The ministry added that the doctor had a history of allergic reactions. So you gave her this knowing she had a history of allergic reactions, and said that there is no evidence from clinical trials that anyone has developed an inflammation of the brain after the vaccine's application. So because there's no history of it, are you trying to say that this didn't count? Yo, we got to stop this, man. This is getting out of control. Pfizer and BioNTech could not be immediately reached for comment. More than 126,500 people have died from COVID-19 in Mexico. The country began distributing the first round of COVID vaccines to the healthcare workers on December 24th. Guys, I'm sorry. This is a little scary. It's just a little scary. If I am out of work for a week or two, I understand some people have passed away from COVID-19. That shit is real. I'm not knocking none of that. My boy Jafari passed away, RFP. You know what I'm saying? We still heartbroken behind that shit out here. Young brother in his 30s with a beautiful daughter to raise. Family man. Wife, kid. Doing things the right way. You know what I'm saying? Trying to be an upstanding man, high level earner, role model to the community, being a good dude in the community. This is what happens, right? So to go from that to, yo, you're gone. You're gone because of the vaccine. Or you're gone, you're not gone, but now you're having seizures. Your brain is swelling up. You have spine fluid in your spine is swelling up. What are you supposed to do? What are you supposed to do? 32-year-old young lady, around the same age as my boy, a little younger, gone. What if this lady don't make it from this and she passed away? Even if her family get a couple $1 million, what if they really love their moms and don't want her to pass away? Husband loves his wife. She's still young enough where her parents may be alive. Parents may love their child, watching their child be such a positive pillar in the community. What if people actually cared for this woman and now they have to watch her suffer? And this is not the only report of somebody having seizures-like conditions after getting the shot. Russian Times RT covered the other day a woman who was in, I believe, Indiana. And she got the shot. And now she's not really doing the best. Let me get the exact location she was at. I want to make sure that I give you correct information. But there's a young lady who was in... Tell you right now, gang. Tell you right the hell now. Louisiana, gang. She was in Louisiana. And the description, woman's severe reaction to Pfizer COVID vaccine prompts investigation. This was posted by by RT, January 18th, Russian Times. So this is a very fairly current article. Fears over the vaccine safety were prompted by a video of a woman suffering convulsions after receiving a Pfizer coronavirus jab in Louisiana. In an exclusive interview with RT, Brant Griner, son of the affected person, says that she hadn't experienced any health issues before taking the shot, and added that the response he'd received to his video suggests his mom's case isn't a one-off. Russia Today, guys. Russia Today. I said the Russian Times. Russia Today, RT. Check that out, man. Because, I mean, so you got this article in Reuters Got Russian Times also having an article. I mean, gang, this is getting scary. This is getting extremely scary. No one is paying this any attention. It's going unnoticed. The people who are bringing it up are being made to look like fools and silly when they try to address the situation. I don't understand how we think this is going to work if we are not allowed to even talk about the problem. If we're not allowed to even talk about the problem, how are we supposed to resolve it? Just tell me, gang, because I'm very confused. How are we supposed to resolve a problem we can't even talk about? Just tell me. I'd really, really like to know, gang. Like, tell me. I'd really, really like to know. So, Mexican doctor, nurse in Louisiana, boom. Mexican doctor. And both of these people are people who had to take it because they're frontline workers. They are healthcare professionals. So the argument is they need to take this to keep other people safe. So they are mandated to take this. And then this is what happens to them. Now, I'm not saying this is happening in all cases, and many people are not having extreme reactions to the shot. Many people are having mild reactions to the shot, which is absolutely fine. And if you feel like, yo, I can risk the mild reactions, what I can't risk is not having a job, feed your fucking family. Feed your goddamn family. And don't let nobody tell you different, call you stupid, call you retarded, saying you risking your life. That is a choice you make. That is a walk you make. Are you risking your life? Possibly. But is that a choice you should be granted to make as a grown person? Hell yeah. People should be allowed to smoke crack and skydive. It hurts no one else theoretically. Yes, it can cause irreparable damage to your family if you die skydiving and or smoking crack. But the same can be argued if you take a shot for your job. Same thing can be argued if you're a taxi driver and you get hit by a car. If you're a police officer or in the military and you get fired upon in a particular conflict or doing a particular mission, exercise, etc. There are inherent risk with things. And if you feel that the risk associated with taking the shot is not that bad for you in your personal life, God bless you. God bless you. I'm talking to you, brothers. God bless you. Yeah. Like, God bless you, man. God bless. Do your thing. Take the shot. Take the shot. Take the shot. You can't go without your job. You know it'll be very difficult for you to find another job. The accommodations, your job is not one of those jobs that can make accommodations. If you're a teacher, yeah, you might be able to teach from home. If you're a coder or a web designer, you might be able to design from home and never have to go into the office again. You got some of these jobs like Twitter, Google, Apple, for they people that work in the back end offices, customer service, data analysis, coders, web designers, HR people, accountants, etc., who's like, yo, they may just never have to go into the office again. Auditors, people who can do their work remotely and it be effective, sometimes arguably even more effective, and they get in more hours because now they just log in to their console right there at home and just start crunching away for 6-7 hours straight. Your job may actually benefit from you staying home. You know, they don't have to have an office space. They don't have to, you might have one of those jobs that got y'all coffee and lunch and brought in bagels and stuff in the morning, served continental breakfast, gave you a lunch stipend or a dinner stipend, gave you comps may have given you transit checks, may have given you comps for Ubers and things of that nature, because you work late nights or early mornings, may have had to pay for security and stuff to be on site janitorial staff, on site chefs, and may be one of those, you may have really one of those real cushy joke jobs that may have had on site daycare centers, on site after school programs, on site schooling for the younger people in your family. You know how many jobs don't have to provide none of that now? None of that. And they have workforces who have no problem working from home, love to work remotely for months at a time. Come on. I mean, let's just be honest, guys. Come on. Call center workers can work from home. There's always been the old ladies who just do that from outside their house. The middle of America moms who do that from inside their house. Now you'll have that more readily available. People just doing these things from their homes. But that means, of course, they will need less people to do it, because they'll automate the half of it that would have been needed more hands to do it. They'll automate. I could literally write a program in a code to make it seem like you're talking to a robot. To make it seem like you're talking to a person, but you're talking to a robot. Sometimes you can tell, sometimes you can't. I can write a code, write a program to help you order your stuff online. I can have a drone fly around the store so you can see things if they're really available in real time. The need for employees physically to be places is going to be less and less and less. And it's not even, those things used to be like 20, 30, 50 years away when people would talk about, oh, this is how you got to be up on this and up on that, because the future's going to change things and people are not going to have jobs like that anymore. The buses is going to drive themselves, the planes, the automobiles, the delivery trucks is going to drive themselves. People used to be like, yeah, whatever. We are here now. Your mail will be delivering itself shortly. People are already having test programs where drones deliver their mail. Driverless little smart vehicles deliver their meals. They get drop shipped big boxes of stuff same day from Amazon. That is the future. So no, you will not need people to go out there and deliver as many physical packages, the big, really big stuff, until they get the robots to handle that. They'll still need people for those things, of course, the very gingerly items, of course. But they will be able to slice. A company like Amazon is going to be able to slice its delivery staff by like 80%. 80%. And a company like Amazon, I'm sure, will offer people the opportunity to learn to code, to learn to do those things. But how many people would take it? It'll be there, but it'll be like one of those things, oh yeah, you had to ask. And if you didn't ask, it's one of those things. But I wouldn't be surprised. A company like Amazon will bring people on as packers and shippers and, delivery people, and would slowly train them to be techs, to operate things so that they can have in-house techs for super cheap. Dilute the computer programming market, dilute the AI market. I wouldn't doubt it. I see Google's now coming out with this thing where, you can take 6 to 12 month courses, sometimes 18-month courses directly from them, and you'll get a certification directly from Google, which is, according to them, of course, they're selling it, it's their program, but according to them, is the equivalent to a 4-year degree. The amount of hands-on training you'll get in that time frame will put you equivalent according to them, of course, to people who have a 4 or 5 year degree from a major university in things like coding or web design or IT, etc. So if that's the future, forget going to college, save a bunch of money, take these online courses, and be ready in 6 to 18 months to completely change your life. We got classes that you could keep upgrading and getting new skills as things turn out. Add some more skills to your thing, because you're never done learning, you know? Should always be learning, should always be picking up new skills. Me, I got some new things I'm learning right now, which are dope and I'm excited about. But I feel kind of dumb. I feel like I should have been learning these things years ago and I would be so much further ahead of the game. But I'm happy now that I'm not being so rigid and stuck in my ways, that I'm opening up myself to the opportunities of adding these other skills to my repertoire. Not that it takes away from what I used to do, but now that it brings it out. You know what I'm saying? And I honestly think it took this transition in society for me to see where everything was going and be like, damn, I got to get to that part. Because I see a lot of artists around me. I see a lot of managers, booking agents, event organizers around me not knowing what to do next, complaining that they don't want to come people that just have to mainly rely on doing things web-based. And being quite frank, they will be the ones who would be willing to do whatever to get things back to the way they were, including take shots that are at best an experimental or in early stages by legal definition. And I really don't want to see one of my friends get hurt taking something that is hurting people, because I have a lot of friends in low-income communities, middle-income communities, and as such, many of them have comorbidities. Many of them asthma, diabetes, sickle cell anemia. Many of them just eat crappy food. And so if their body got hit with something hard, I don't know how they would take it. And the sadder part is neither do they, honestly. So it's a crazy world that we living in, y'all. And all we can do is just try to stay safe, stay vigilant, stay focused, stay calm, stay wise, stay humble, be smart about things. All we can do is push for the most, because trying to just hang on is not going down no more. So a commentary Andrew Yang made recently, and for those that don't know, Andrew Yang, congressman who was recently running for president, and now he's eyeing New York's mayoral seat for this next 4 years, while there is nothing shaking at 1600 Pennsylvania. He's eyeing New York's mayoral seat. And I honestly think he may get it, because New York is enough of a progressive place where somebody like him with these progressive ideas, talking about universal basic incomes and having people get paid directly for the data that's being mined by huge companies like Google, etc. Those type of ideas in a place like New York could actually fly. He could create a even greater tech hub, because now that all these technology companies are here in New York, it's a melting pot for the tech sector, on the entertainment fronts, on the military fronts, on the health fronts. Tech. So I think understanding the times and the writing on the wall, he'll bringing things to New York to have it be a tester for the rest of the country. He'll bring in a UBI, or a universal basic income, to certain parts of the community, the citizens here in New York who meet the criteria. Unfortunately, it'll be so many of us very soon. But anyway, he gave a speech, he gave a conversation at an interview, and he was being like, yo, what we're already doing to the people in mail and logistics, we're going to do to retail workers. We're going to do to farmers. We're already doing it to farmers. We're going to do to retail workers, the trucking industry. It's already being done in the trucking industry. There's already robotic trucks that drive things across the country. Factory workers got hit the hardest first with some of this. People that do tons of jobs that we take for granted, that we just assume will always be there. Cab drivers, bus operators, train operators, plane operators. People in transportation, period, except those, again, who run the towers, those, again, who operate the machinery in the background, those, again, who program the robots, those who run the robots, those who help maintain the robots will be employed. And of course, there will be a transition period where people will get to learn these skills. But how many people will just be phased out of the economy because they may be much older, never really had any exposure to technology, and won't feel like, they can't do it? How many people will mentally just phase themselves out of the game? Because the race never goes to the swift. The race goes to the person who can endure, switch it up, and change it to keep progressing as they going forward. Take a step back to take a step forward. Take 2-3 steps back to take a giant leap forward sometimes. Right now, it's all about learning new skills. Because things is only getting rocky as we move forward. And the landscape has completely changed. It is a digital world. It is a global marketplace. And if your skills don't match up against the dudes from Singapore's or India's or Thailand's or Sri Lanka's or Russia's or Japan's or Tokyo's, why should I hire you? Is what people are going to say. Eventually, the classrooms will just be in people's houses. I could hire a coding teacher for my kids from India. I don't need to hire you. Pay him less. No health insurance. And when I don't need him, just don't give him a gig. When I do need him, pay him specifically for the time that he's worked or she has worked. No health insurance, no none of that. And if I do have to pay health insurance, it'll be much cheaper because of the conversion rates. Just saying. If you think companies are not thinking like this, you are sadly mistaken. And these things that have come and happened now in 2020 and 2019, the COVID situation, have sped that up. People need to understand these things have been sped up like crazy. It's going down. And you might be like, well, damn, you don't went off on this crazy tangent. What this got to do with the lady who took the shots in Mexico and the lady in Louisiana? It has everything to do with it. If you can't put those pieces of the puzzle together and connect those dots, I don't know what to say to you at this point. Get yourselves prepared, gang. Be able to transition your position to one where you can work remotely, where you don't have to put yourself in harm's way until you make sure that everything is smooth with the new technology coming on board. Because don't get it twisted, medicine is a technology as well. And just like anything that comes out, when it first comes out, there's going to be issues. They release a new iPhone, they release a new PlayStation, they release a new Xbox. It has issues. They release a new pair of sneakers. It cannot be built properly. A dude like Zion could split them down the middle. Poof. New technology is going to have issues on the rollout. New Tesla cars is going to have a couple crashes. Like, these are things that naturally happen as you make millions and millions of editions of something, as you mass produce something, whether it be technology, software, hardware, medicine, anything. There's going to be a couple That's, it's working its way through the system. They're going to have to do callbacks and revamps and change the technology up. Put yourself in a position where you could wait for the third and fourth edition of that iPhone to see if you even want to think about buying it. You know what I'm saying? Don't be the person that got to be out there the first day for anything. You'll avoid a lot of problems that way. With that being said, y'all, it's your boy Phantm. I'm going to keep it light today, get up out of here. I got some dope guests coming on this week. Please make sure to check back to last Wednesday's show. Check back to the Sunday show previously. Check back and listen to all of the amazing guests that have come through and blessed these airwaves. Kicked so many gems and jewels to us. From Jess Blaze to Shauna J. I mean, it's been amazing. Commander Flame, O'Henny Cornelius, Mandela, Eskia. I mean, I've been so blessed to have so many amazing people come through. It's been really dope. Comedians like Javon Johnson and Christiana Jackson, and Laz Rivero. It's been a dope ride. I thank you guys as always. hisghettopointofview@gmail.com for any questions or comments. You can always tap in as well on our Instagram feeds. His Ghetto POV Show, HGPOV Show, His Ghetto Point of View. Just check it out on Instagram. You'll find us. Tune in on Wednesday. It's going to be a dope show. And as always, again, please make sure you smash that like button. Please make sure you set up your notifications so whenever we post a new episode, you get that notification and you could be one of the first to hear it, review it, comment, critique, share it, love it or hate it. We appreciate it all, gang. Just be interactive. Let us know what you're listening for. Let us know what you like. Let us know what type of guests you want us to have jump on, because the party ain't a party if I can't bring the crew, That's how we do. But yeah, the gang, thank you so much once again. You guys have been absolutely awesome. It's your boy Phantm. I'm getting out of here for today. Love and light, gang. We gonna be all right. We gonna be all right. We gonna be all right. Peace.